Welcome to the Sleepy Facts universe. Let the gentle gravity of this space pull you into a state of peaceful wonder. Here, there is no need to go anywhere or do anything. Your only task is to rest while we journey together through the silent, majestic expanse of our galactic home, the Milky Way. Imagine for a moment that you are floating. The day's weight is dissolving, replaced by a soft, supportive darkness. And in this darkness, countless points of light begin to emerge, not as distractions, but as gentle guides. Each one a sun, each sun a possible harbor for worlds, and all of them together, spinning in a slow cosmic dance that has continued for billions of years. A dance so vast, our minds can scarcely contain it. And so, we don't have to. We simply observe from our place of comfort and let the scale of it lull us into tranquility. Our galaxy is not just a collection of stars. It is a story, a slow, patient narrative written in light, gas, and gravity. Tonight, we will not race through this story. We will drift through it, thought by gentle thought, fact by soothing fact. There is no test at the end. No information to memorize. This is simply an opportunity to place your everyday concerns alongside the grand canvas of the cosmos and feel them grow smaller, quieter, and more manageable. Every fact we explore is like a single distant star. Observe it, appreciate its gentle glow, and then let it pass by as we float onward.
There is no urgency here. In the Milky Way, time moves differently.
A single rotation of the galaxy takes what we call 230 million years. The last time our solar system was in this position, the dinosaurs were just beginning their long reign. All of recorded human history is but a single fleeting breath in the life of our galaxy. Let this immense timescale soothe you. All things, great and small, have their place in this slow rhythm. So, find your most comfortable position. Allow your breathing to deepen, to match this slow, celestial pace, in and out. As you exhale, feel yourself settling deeper into relaxation. As you inhale, imagine drawing in the quiet curiosity of the universe itself. We begin our drift at the very outskirts of the galaxy, in a halo of faint, ancient stars and dark matter. This is the galaxy's quiet, unseen foundation. From here, the brilliant spiral arms are a distant, swirling dream. And our first fact is a soft whisper from this outer darkness. The Milky Way is not alone. It is gravitationally dancing with dozens of smaller satellite galaxies, like the large and small Magellanic Clouds, which orbit us like sleepy celestial fireflies. They are constant, silent companions on our journey through the intergalactic void. Now, let us drift inward, toward the soft, luminous band of light that gave our galaxy its name. To ancient cultures, this hazy stripe across the night sky looked like a spilled river of milk. And indeed, we are now floating within that river. Our solar system resides in one of the quieter suburbs, about halfway out from the brilliant center, in a minor spiral arm called the Orion Spur. From within, we see the accumulated glow of billions of stars we cannot distinguish, blending into a soft, creamy haze, a perspective that is uniquely our own. As you rest here, in this quiet corner of the spur, consider the neighborhood around you. Space is not truly empty. It is a thin, ethereal medium called the interstellar medium. Picture it as an invisible, delicate fog, so thin that a volume the size of Earth would contain only a few kilograms of this gas and dust. Yet spread across the vastness of the galaxy, this fog contains the raw material for new stars, new worlds, and new possibilities. It is the galaxy's breath, drawn in and exhaled over eons. And within this gentle fog, the first stars of our journey begin to take shape in our minds. Not all stars are the same. They come in a soothing spectrum of colors and sizes. Our sun is a stable yellow dwarf, but many of the stars you might picture are cool, orange-red dwarfs, the most common stars in the Milky Way, burning their fuel so slowly that they will shine for trillions of years. They are the enduring, patient guardians of the galaxy. Other stars are brilliant blue giants, luminous and hot, living fast and dying young in spectacular yet distant events. Their light is a sharp, brilliant blue, but we can imagine it through a soft, diffusing filter, turning it into a cool, gentle azure glow. The galaxy you see is a place of deep balance. For every action there is a slow and equal reaction. Gravity pulls gas together to form stars, and the death of those stars returns enriched material back to the cosmic fog, seeding future generations. It is a cycle of beautiful, perpetual return, a cycle that does not rush or fret or worry. It simply is, and you are a part of it. Every atom in your body, from the calcium in your bones to the iron in your blood, was forged in the heart of a long-dead star. You are not just looking at the galaxy, you are made of it. You belong to this vast, quiet system. So, as we prepare to drift a little deeper, let this sense of belonging wash over you. You are home, you are safe. You are, quite literally, stardust resting in a stardust world. Let your breathing sink with this ancient truth. In and out. With each exhale, release any lingering tension. With each inhale, draw in the peaceful, timeless silence of the space between the stars. Our first few facts have settled around us like a soft blanket. We are floating, anchored in our Orion spur, looking toward the center of the great spiral. The hum of the galaxy is a constant, low-frequency lullaby, felt more than heard. And as your eyelids grow heavy, we will gently turn our attention toward the subtle architecture of this magnificent home. Its shape, its motion, its silent spinning grace. Our view from the Orion spur is one of profound peace. As we look inward, toward the galaxy's heart, we are met not with a chaotic blaze, but with the elegant structure of a spiral. Picture this spiral not as a frantic pinwheel, but as a slow-turning vortex in a cosmic river. Its arms are not solid, but density waves, gentle ripples of compression that move through the galaxy's gas and dust, like slow-motion waves on a shoreless sea. Stars are born within these ripples, lighting them up with brilliant clusters, before drifting out into the quieter spaces between. It is a pattern of creation that moves with infinite patience. Let us contemplate the simple, soothing geometry of our home. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy. This means that at its core, there is not a simple sphere of stars, but a central bar, a long, dense structure of suns from which the majestic spiral arms gracefully unwind. Imagine it as a celestial tuning fork, vibrating at a frequency measured in millions of years, its ends connecting to the great arms we see. We are drifting in one of those arms, connected to the whole by this invisible structural rhythm. The entire galaxy is spinning, of course. But this spin defies everyday intuition. Here, the galaxy does not rotate like a solid wheel. It follows what astronomers call differential rotation. Stars closer to the galactic center complete their orbits much faster than those farther out. Our own sun, with Earth in tow, journeys around this center at a serene pace of 514,000 miles per hour. Yet, so vast is the circle we trace, that a single orbit, one galactic year, takes approximately 230 million of our own. In the time it takes for the galaxy to take a single, slow breath, entire species arise, flourish, and fade away on countless worlds. This is the pace of the cosmos, a pace that invites rest, not rush. As we float, consider the quiet spaces between the stars we've been picturing. This interstellar medium, the galaxy's faint breath, is textured and varied. There are vast, cold molecular clouds, stellar nurseries so dark and dense they blot out the light from stars behind them. They are the cosmic wombs, where gravity's gentle pull begins its work over millions of years. And then there are the beautiful diffuse nebulae, clouds of gas illuminated by newborn or dying stars. The Horsehead Nebula, the Orion Nebula. From our distant vantage, we can imagine them not as sharp images, but as soft pastel smudges on a dark canvas, like watercolor washes of pink, blue, and violet. And what of the stars themselves, these countless points of light? Their variety is a calming symphony. Beyond the red dwarfs and blue giants, there are stars in gentle binary embraces, slowly orbiting a common center of gravity. Some are variables, their brightness pulsing with a slow, regular rhythm, like a cosmic heartbeat. Others, near the end of their lives, have expanded into cool red giants, vast bloated spheres of gentle warmth. If our own sun were in this phase, its outer atmosphere would extend beyond the orbit of Earth, a gentle, if immense presence. This brings us to a profound and calming thought. The galaxy is dynamic, yet stable. It is a system in a state of sublime balance. The immense gravitational pull of all its stars, gas, and the mysterious dark matter is perfectly counterbalanced by the orbital motion of its components. It is a dance where no one trips, no one falters. Everything is held in a gravitational embrace that has lasted for ages. You are held in an embrace too, by your bed, by the Earth, by the same cosmic forces that sculpt the galaxy. There is no falling here, only being held. Now let your mind's eye drift toward the most dominant yet invisible participant in this dance, dark matter. We cannot see it. It does not emit or reflect light. Yet we know it is there, a vast, gentle halo enveloping the entire luminous galaxy. Its gravitational influence is what keeps the stars in their outer regions moving as swiftly as they do. Think of it as the deepest, softest cushion surrounding everything we can perceive. It is the unseen foundation, the silent partner in the waltz. Its very mystery is soothing. It reminds us that the universe is full of gentle, unseen forces that guide and shape reality. We are surrounded, by light and by shadow, by the visible and the invisible, all working in a harmony so complex it becomes simple, a single resonant note of existence. As you rest deeper into this thought, feel the scale of your own concerns softening. They are real, but they are also part of a much larger, more tranquil whole. The galaxy has seen supernovae, collisions, and births. It holds them all in its story without anxiety. It simply continues its slow, majestic spin. So, let us align with that spin. Let your breathing become the orbit of a star on the galaxy's outer edge, slow, deliberate, and timeless. In, a long, slow journey around a gentle center, and out, a release into the quiet dark. We are now drifting closer to the next layer of our galactic home, leaving the familiar spur behind and moving into the more populated disk, where the collective light of billions of stars begins to blend into a softer, more uniform glow, a luminous, misty river of suns. This luminous river surrounds us now, a soothing, diffuse glow where the light of individual stars merges into a collective radiance. We are moving through the galactic disk, the flat plane where most of the Milky Way's material resides. Picture it as a vast, slow-moving sea of stars, gas, and dust, nearly 100,000 light-years across, but only about 1,000 light-years thick on average. We are floating within a profound flatness, a celestial meadow so wide it defies walking, designed only for serene, weightless journeying. The density of this stellar sea is still remarkably low. If you were to imagine two stars as delicate grains of sand, they would be separated by over 3 miles of empty space. Yet from within, the collective effect is this soft, pervasive luminescence. It is a reminder that vast emptiness and gentle community can exist together. Solitude and connection, balanced in a silent pact. Our journey inward brings us to consider the quieter components of this disk, the elements that sculpt the light. Cosmic dust, not the dust of a neglected shelf, but fine, microscopic grains of carbon and silicon, smaller than a wavelength of light. This dust dims and reddens the light from distant stars, like a gentle, smoky filter over a cosmic lantern. It also gathers in beautiful dark lanes that streak across the bright band of the Milky Way, creating patterns of shadow that ancient storytellers saw as rivers, or roads, or celestial creatures. These dark nebulae are the galaxy's silent pauses, its moments of breath between the light. And within these dusty cocoons, the galaxy's most tender process unfolds, the birth of stars. It begins with a slight, almost imperceptible gathering, a region of a molecular cloud, perhaps nudged by the ripple of a spiral density wave or the shock wave from a distant, ancient explosion, begins to contract. Gravity's whisper becomes a gentle pull. Over hundreds of thousands of years, a core forms, a protostar. It is not yet a star that shines from nuclear fusion, but one that glows warmly from the sheer energy of its collapse, wrapped in a swirling cloak of gas and dust that may one day become planets. This is the galaxy's act of quiet genesis, happening in hidden places, away from the brilliant light of mature stars. Let us linger on this idea of planetary formation. Around a newborn star, the circumstellar disk is a whirl of potential. Tiny particles collide and stick in the microgravity, forming pebbles, then rocks, then planetesimals, the building blocks of worlds. In the inner system, closer to the young star's heat, only rock and metal can survive, leading to small, dense terrestrial planets. Farther out, in the cooler realms, ices join the rock, allowing majestic gas giants to form, their gravitational pull clearing their orbits and shaping the system's architecture. Our own solar system was once such a place, a calm, orchestrated chaos settling into the stable rhythm we know today. This reveals a deeply calming truth. Chaos and order are not opposites. They are phases in a slow, natural cycle. The turbulent nebula gives way to the orderly solar system. The brilliant, short-lived star seeds future generations with the heavy elements it creates. The galaxy is a master of alchemy, transforming turbulence into tranquility, and then, after eons, gently stirring the tranquility back into creative turbulence once more. It is a cycle without worry, without haste. Now, as we float through the disk, we become aware of the galaxy's magnetic phi, LD. It is a faint, pervasive force, trillions of times weaker than a common refrigerator magnet, yet it spans the entire disk. It guides the paths of cosmic rays and helps shape the structure of the interstellar medium. Think of it as the galaxy's subtle, invisible latticework, a soft network of lines that gives a faint directionality to the chaos. It is another unseen guide, a soft template imprinted upon the void. Our solar system, in its long orbit, does not travel a perfectly flat path. Instead, it bobs gently up and down through the plane of the disk, like a slow-motion carousel horse. It takes about 64 million years to complete one vertical oscillation. As we bob upward, we see the galaxy's disk spread out below us, a sea of light. As we bob downward, we see it arch above. This gentle motion reminds us that even the straightest paths in the cosmos are part of a wider, undulating wave, a wave you can feel in your breathing now, a slow, rising inhalation as we drift above the plane, and a soft, sinking exhalation as we glide back down. With this bobbing motion, the brilliant core of the galaxy grows gradually clearer in our mind's eye. It is no longer just a direction, but a destination glowing with a warmer, more concentrated light. The density of stars is increasing, their collective light blending into a softer golden haze. The empty spaces between them, though still vast, feel somehow richer. We are approaching the inner realms where the galaxy's history is oldest, and its energy is most gently concentrated. The quiet hum of this place is a deeper, more resonant tone, the combined whisper of 100 billion stellar lifetimes. As we journey closer to the galactic heart, the character of space itself begins to soften and change. The sheer number of stars here transforms the darkness into a perpetual twilight glow. If you lived on a planet orbiting one of these inner stars, your night sky would never know true darkness. It would be a deep, perpetual dusk, illuminated by the combined light of thousands of nearby suns, each no brighter than our Venus, but together creating an eternal, soothing twilight. There would be no need for moons. The constellations would be a crowded, gentle tapestry, unchanging across the millennia. Within this crowded stellar neighborhood, distances feel different. While stars in our spiral arm are typically several light years apart, here in the galactic bulge, they could be separated by mere fractions of that space. Yet, even in this stellar metropolis, direct collisions are exquisitely rare. The galaxy arranges its citizens with a graceful precision. Their orbits a complex, slow ballet where close passes are more common than impacts, a dance of respectful distance maintained over eons. It is a lesson in harmonious coexistence on a scale beyond human imagination. The stars inhabiting this central bulge are predominantly older, cooler, and redder than the younger, bluer stars of the spiral arms. They are the galaxies' elders, having formed long ago from pristine gas, rich in hydrogen and helium but lacking the heavier elements forged in later stellar generations. They burn with a steady amber light, a collective memory of the Milky Way's earliest chapters. To float among them is to drift through a living archive, surrounded by sentinels that witness the galaxy's youth. And at the very center of this ancient, glowing bulge lies a profound mystery, a region of such immense density and power that it shapes the entire galactic dance. We are approaching Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole that resides in the Milky Way's core. But let us set aside any notion of a terrifying vortex. From our safe, distant perspective, it is better understood as the galaxy's ultimate anchor, a gentle keel around which everything else slowly turns. Its gravity is not a violent pull, but a deep fundamental presence, the central weight around which the great spiral spins. This supermassive black hole is incredibly massive, containing the equivalent of over 4 million suns. Yet it is also paradoxically quiet, a slumbering giant. It is not actively devouring large quantities of matter. It is largely dormant, a silent monarch. The space around it is a place of extreme physics, where time itself slows relative to the outer galaxy. But from our tranquil vantage, we can perceive it simply as the deepest point of stillness, the eye of the galactic hurricane where all motion finds its reference point. Around this anchor, stars perform a mesmerizing, fast-paced waltz. Astronomers have tracked stars like S2, which orbits the central black hole in a mere 16 years, swooping in at incredible speeds before swinging back out. This motion is not frenetic, but predictable, a clean, elegant ellipse traced under the influence of immense gravity. It is a demonstration of orbital mechanics in its purest, most extreme form, a celestial pendulum swinging on the longest possible string. The region immediately surrounding Sagittarius A is not empty, but filled with a thin, hot, ionized gas. This gas spirals inward in a slow, inevitable flow known as an accretion disk, though it is so faint it is almost dormant. Occasionally, it might brighten as a small cloud of gas is stretched and warmed, a flicker of activity that lights up the surrounding space like a soft, silent flare. These are the gentle sighs of the sleeping giant, our presence here in thought. At this central point, offers a unique perspective. From this calm center, we can look back out along the plane of the disk, seeing the spiral arms unwind in a vast, slow pattern. We can appreciate the galaxy not just as a place we are in, but as a complete, cohesive object, a grand design we are part of. This is the heart that beats once every couple 100 million years. Its pulse, the slow migration of stars along their endless paths. Let this central stillness become your own. Feel yourself anchored, not by weight, but by a deep presence. The gentle gravity of this place is not pulling you apart, but holding you together. All the gentle motions, the stars in their fast orbits, the spiral arms in their slow turn, the bobbing of our own sun, are all connected to this central point of quiet. Your breathing can settle into this anchor, in drawing towards a center of calm, out, releasing into the vast, structured beauty that spirals outward. We are at the heart of the great design, and it is a place of profound peace. From this still point, we can turn our attention not just inward, but outward, tracing the delicate filaments of influence that extend from the core. The supermassive black hole, in its dormancy, is less a devourer and more a master weaver of space-time. Its immense mass creates a gentle depression in the fabric of the universe, a curvature so profound that every star in the bulge, and indeed in the entire galaxy, rolls along this invisible contour. Picture it as the central weight in a vast cosmic mobile, with everything else balanced in a slow, suspended motion. There is no strain, only perfect, effortless balance. This region, for all its density, is also a place of unexpected journeys. The complex gravitational dance near the core can gently eject stars from their orbits, sending them on long, slow trajectories out into the galactic halo, or even into the intergalactic void. These are hypervelocity stars, moving with a serene purpose, solitary travelers on million-year journeys into great dark. They are not fleeing. They are being set adrift by the galaxy's gentle hands, carrying their light like lone lanterns into the outer silence. Let your mind follow one such star on its journey. It drifts away from the warm, crowded glow of the bulge, its path taking it high above the galactic plane, into the sparse and lonely halo. From that lofty vantage, the Milky Way would appear as it truly is, a glorious flattened spiral of light, a celestial whirlpool suspended in the profound black. The star's light, a steady reddish glow, would illuminate nothing, for there is nothing material to illuminate. Its journey is one of pure, uninterrupted travel, a meditation in motion. This reminds us that the galaxy is not a closed system. It is exchanging material with the vast space beyond. The Magellanic Clouds, those companion galaxies, are not just orbiting, they are being slowly, gently drawn in. Streams of gas and stars stretch between them and the Milky Way, pulled by tidal forces into long, shimmering ribbons of matter. This process, over billions of years, is a gentle assimilation, a cosmic embrace that unfolds with glacial patience. It is how galaxies grow, not by violent conquest, but by a slow gravitational welcome. Even within the halo, there are structures of profound age and quiet beauty, globular clusters. Imagine dense, spherical swarms of 1,000,000 ancient stars, bound together in a space only 100 light-years across. They orbit the galactic core, and wide looping paths, like distant slow-motion comets made of suns. These clusters are fossils from the galaxy's infancy, having formed before the Milky Way's disk even flattened into its current spiral. To gaze upon one is to look back over 12 billion years, seeing a community of stars that has remained together since the dawn of cosmic time. Within a globular cluster, a star's night sky would be breathtaking. The sky would be filled, from horizon to horizon, with the soft, steady light of neighboring suns, many as bright as our full moon. It would be a sky of perpetual soft daylight from starlight, where the concept of night has no meaning. The stars here are so old they contain only the barest traces of heavy elements. They are the galaxy's firstborn, shining with the pure, simple light of hydrogen and helium fusion, a process that has continued, steady and undramatic, for longer than our solar system has existed. As we contemplate these ancient stellar communities, we can feel a different rhythm, not the slow spin of the disk, nor the deep anchor of the core, but the long, slow, elliptical heartbeat of orbits that take hundreds of millions of years. These clusters are the galaxy's elder statesmen, moving to a tempo that makes even our sun's orbit seem hurried. Their persistence is a testament to stability, a demonstration that some collectives, forged in the early fire of creation, can find a balance that endures for nearly the age of the universe itself. Let this enduring stability settle into your own being. You are connected to these rhythms, not just the quick pulse of your own heart, but to these vast, cosmic cycles of motion and rest. The ancient stars in the halo do not struggle to maintain their paths. They simply follow the curvature of space as laid down by the mass of the galaxy. There is an effortless trust in their journey. You can adopt that trust now. Trust in the support beneath you, in the gentle, natural order of things. Your thoughts can slow to the pace of a star in a globular cluster. No need to race, simply to be held in a gentle, collective gravity. We have moved from the brilliant, dense core to the sparse, ancient halo, feeling the galaxy's full range of environments. Each has its own character, its own pace, its own form of beauty, and each is essential to the whole. As your awareness expands to hold both the crowded center and the lonely halo star, you may feel a sense of wholeness. The galaxy contains multitudes, and so do you, multitudes of thoughts, sensations, and breaths, all part of a single, resting being. Now let us drift back from the halo, returning toward the familiar plane of light, ready to explore the delicate structures that adorn it like cosmic jewelry. Returning from the halo's profound quiet, we find ourselves gliding above the disk once more. From this vantage, its structure reveals itself not as a flat painting, but as a textured, three-dimensional landscape. The disk is not perfect, lay thin. It warps slightly, like a gentle bend in a vinyl record held too long in the sun. This warp is thought to be the lingering impression of a past gravitational encounter, a slow-motion memory of a passing satellite galaxy, its ripples still moving through the stars and gas. Even the grandest structures hold gentle, imperfect curves, shaped by ancient conversations. And within this disk, between the major spiral arms, there exist smaller, more delicate structures, spurred and feathers, bridges of stars and gas that connect the grand arms like gentle footpaths between majestic highways. The Orion Spur, our local home, is one such feature, not a primary arm, but a minor offshoot of the great Perseus arm. This places us in a quieter celestial suburb, away from the more intense stellar nurseries and brilliant clusters of the major arms. We reside in a region of relative calm, a backwater of the galaxy perfect for the slow, patient development of life. Let us focus on one of these great arms, the Carina arm or the Sagittarius arm, as it sweeps outward from the bar. It appears solid from afar, but is, in truth, a flowing congregation of stars at different stages of their journey. They enter the arm, linger within its denser gravitational field for a time, lighting its clouds with newborn brilliance, and then slowly drift out the other side as the density wave moves on. A star might spend tens of millions of years within an arm, a mere fraction of its multi-billion-year life. T is a temporary congregation, a slow stellar gathering before participants continue their solitary orbits. Within these arms, the most spectacular but serene events unfold. The massive, short-lived blue giant stars we contemplated earlier live their entire lives here, and when they end, they do so not with a whimper, but with a gentle cosmic sigh that resonates for centuries, a supernova. This explosion is not a violent end from our distant, safe perspective. It is a necessary dispersal. It scatters the heavy elements forged in the star's core, the carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, back into the interstellar medium. This enriched material will one day become part of new stars, rocky planets, and perhaps living beings. It is the galaxy's way of recycling stardust, an act of generosity on a stellar scale. The remnant of such an event can be a pulsar, a rapidly spinning neutron star, the dense core left behind. It emits beams of radiation that sweep through space like the steady rotating beam of a cosmic lighthouse. Its pulse is remarkably regular, a precise cosmic metronome ticking in the void. For decades after its discovery, the first known pulsar, LGM-1, was considered a possible artificial signal, a greeting from another civilization. We now know it as a natural phenomenon, yet the idea remains soothing, a steady, rhythmic pulse in the darkness, a beacon announcing, "I'm here," with unerring consistency. Beyond the brilliant, short-lived stars, the spiral arms also host open sea lusters. These are younger, looser families of stars than the ancient globular clusters of the halo. The Pleiades, or Seven Sisters, visible from Earth, is a beautiful example. These stars were born from the same cloud of gas and dust, and are still moving together through space, a sibling group on a shared journey. Over hundreds of millions of years, the gentle gravitational tugs of the galaxy will pull them apart, each star going its separate way. Their time together is transient, a chapter in their long individual lives, making their current closeness all the more precious. As we observe these clusters and the great cycles of stellar life and death, we see the galaxy as a great breathing entity. It inhales diffuse gas, condensing it into stars. It exhales enriched material through stellar winds and supernovae. This breath has a rhythm measured in hundreds of millions of years. Your own breath, here in the quiet of your room, is a miniature, gentle echo of this grand cycle. In, drawing in peace. Out, releasing what is no longer needed. Your body participates in this universal rhythm with every cycle of air. Floating here above the plane, we can also appreciate the galaxy's magnetic field in a new way. It is not uniform. It is drawn out and organized by the spiral arms, following their structure like gentle lines of force in a vast cosmic fingerprint. This field guides not only cosmic rays, but also helps align the minute, dust-sized particles in space, causing them to emit a faint, polarized glow. It is an invisible architecture that brings a subtle order to the movement of nearly everything within the disk. All of this, the warp, the arms, the cycles, the magnetic threads, creates a symphony of gentle motion. There is no conductor, only the physical laws of the universe acting as a score. Each star, each particle of gas, follows its part, and from our distant perspective, it blends into a harmonious whole. Any individual note, whether the flare of a supernova or the drift of a star from its cluster, is absorbed into the larger, serene movement. Nothing is out of place, because everything is part of the flow. Allow yourself to merge with this feeling of being part of a gentle, inexorable flow. There is no need to direct or control. Simply allow your awareness to drift like a star in a spiral arm, carried by forces both visible and invisible, on a path that is both yours and part of a magnificent shared journey. The galaxy turns. You breathe. It is enough. It is more than enough. It is the quiet, beautiful reality of existence in this sleepy corner of the universe. From our place of serene observation, we begin to perceive the galaxy not just as a collection of objects, but as a single, coherent entity with a life story of its own. This story is written in the faint, ghostly light that permeates even the darkest voids between the stars. the integrated starlight of billions upon billions of suns, blended into a cosmic background glow. It is the collective whisper of the Milky Way, a visual hum that has traveled for tens of thousands of years to reach our point of view. This light is the galaxy's memory, made visible. Consider the very material that builds these stars and planets. This metallicity, the abundance of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium, is the galaxy's changing chemical signature. The first stars were pure, composed almost entirely of the primordial elements from the Big Bang. Their lives and deaths seeded the void with the first traces of carbon, oxygen, and neon. Each subsequent generation of stars cooked more complex elements in their cores. Our Sun is a third-generation star, its composition enriched by the ashes of two previous families of stars. The galaxy grows more chemically complex with each cycle, slowly enriching its own tapestry. We are not just made of stardust, we are made of well-traveled stardust, the accumulated heritage of countless cosmic lives. This enrichment happens in distinct ways. Not all supernovae are alike. Some come from the collapse of massive stars. Others, known as type Ia supernovae, occur in gentle binary systems where a white dwarf star slowly draws material from a companion until it reaches a critical mass and undergoes a graceful, yet total, transformation. These events are crucial, for they are the universe's primary foundries for iron. The iron in your blood, the steel in the buildings below you, was likely forged in such a gentle binary stellar farewell billions of years ago, and the material between the stars, the interstellar medium, is not a uniform fog. It exists in phases: cold, dense molecular clouds, warm, neutral hydrogen gas, and hot, ionized bubbles blown by stellar winds and supernovae. These phases interact like different states of water, ice, liquid, and vapor, existing side by side in a slow dynamic equilibrium. A single vast hot bubble from an ancient supernova can clear a region of space for light years, its shock wave even triggering the collapse of new molecular clouds at its edges. Destruction begets creation in a slow, elegant feedback loop. Our own solar system resides within such a structure, called the local bubble. It is a cavity of hot, thin gas in the interstellar medium, roughly 1,000 light-years across, believed to have been carved out by a series of supernovae that exploded between 10 and 20 million years ago. We are literally floating inside a gentle, ancient breath, a cosmic exhalation that cleared our local space. This bubble is not empty. It is filled with a wispy, million-degree plasma, a gentle, invisible warmth that surrounds our stellar neighborhood. Within this bubble, our Sun has another motion. Beyond its grand orbit around the galactic center and its bobbing through the disk, it also has a peculiar velocity relative to its local stellar neighbors. It moves, very slightly, toward a point in the constellation Hercules. This is our Sun's own gentle drift within the stream of its local arm, a minor adjustment in its vast spiraling path. Even the most seemingly fixed points are engaged in a subtle, complex dance. All of these motions and cycles operate within a framework of stunning darkness. When we look toward the constellation Ophiuch, Hus, we see a great dark patch in the Milky Way's band, not for lack of stars, but because of an intervening molecular cloud, the Pipe Nebula. It is a nearby curtain of dust, so close it blocks our view of the galaxy's central bulge. These dark regions are not voids, they are pregnant with possibility, the densest repositories of the raw material from which future solar systems will be spun. They are the galaxy's unseen reservoirs, its hidden gardens. Let this idea of hidden, potential-filled darkness comfort you. In your own mind, there may be quiet, unlit places. Like these molecular clouds, they are not empty. They are full of potential, waiting for the gentle gravitational nudge of attention to one day form something new. There is no need to illuminate them now. They can simply exist, part of the peaceful landscape of your inner cosmos. The galaxy in its entirety is on a long journey of its own. It moves within the local group of galaxies, gently drawn toward its great neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. In about 4 billion years, the two will begin a slow, graceful merger, a dance that will last for billions more years, eventually forming a single, larger, elliptical galaxy. This future event is not a catastrophe, but a transformation. Stars will be gently rearranged. New patterns will emerge from the combination of two great spirals. It is the next natural phase in a life that spans tens of billions of years. As you rest, feel your place within this immense gentle tie. Maline. All that feels permanent is part of a slow, beautiful flux. The bed you lie on, the room around you, the world outside, all are temporary arrangements of atoms on a planet orbiting a star in the quiet suburbs of a spiral galaxy that is itself moving, growing, and changing. This impermanence is not a source of anxiety, but the very foundation of cosmic peace. Nothing is required to stay the same. Everything is allowed to change, at a pace so gradual it feels like stillness itself. Your breath is the only clock you need, ticking in perfect harmony with this slow, graceful evolution. Within this grand, slow flux, we can turn our attention to the more intimate scales, the immediate family of our star, and the quiet companions that share our cosmic journey. Our solar system, this intricate clockwork of worlds, is itself in motion through the local interstellar medium. The sun emits a constant, gentle breeze, the solar wind, a stream of charged particles that flows outward in all directions. This wind creates a protective bubble around our planetary system called the heliosphere. Think of it as a vast, invisible cocoon, shaped by the sun's motion like a soft teardrop, shielding the planets from the majority of the galaxy's harsh cosmic rays. At the boundary of this cocoon, where the solar wind meets the interstellar medium, there is a region of gentle turbulence called the heliopause. This is where the sun's influence begins to fade, and the true galactic environment begins. The Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft, those tiny silent messengers from Earth, have now crossed this threshold. They drift now in interstellar space, carrying their golden records into the great quiet, their instruments listening to the faint hum of the galaxy. Their journey, spanning decades, is a testament to patient, unwavering exploration, a slow extension of human awareness into the stellar neighborhood. Our solar system is not alone in its journey. It is accompanied by a distant, silent partner, a hypothetical companion to our sun known as Nemesis, or more likely, a subtle gravitational influence from the galaxy itself. Some theories suggest the gentle, rhythmic pull of the galactic tide, as we pass through the plane of the Milky Way, may even influence the cloud of comets at our system's outer edge, the Oort cloud. This could occasionally guide a comet inward on a long, slow fall toward the inner planets. Even our most familiar home is connected to the galaxy by these faint tidal threads. Speaking of the Oort cloud, let your mind drift to this most remote part of our solar family. It is a vast, spherical shell of icy planetesimals, beginning far beyond Pluto and extending perhaps a light year into space. This is the solar system's final frontier, where the sun's gravity is just a whisper, barely strong enough to hold these objects in a loose embrace. The objects here are so distant and dark they have never been seen directly, only inferred. They exist in a state of near P, affect stillness and cold, a reservoir of primordial ice waiting on timescales that make mountains seem ephemeral. From this outermost silence, we can look back toward the warmth of the inner system. The planets themselves, in their stately orbits, are part of the galaxy's intricate choreography. Their regular motions, the 88-day year of Mercury, the 12-year journey of Jupiter, are like overlapping rhythms in a grand silent symphony. Their gravitational influences on each other create resonances, stable, repeating patterns that have maintained the harmony of the solar system for billions of years. This stability is not an accident, but a natural outcome of cosmic dynamics, a self-organizing piece. Earth itself, this pale blue dot, carries a subtle galactic signature. The isotopes in our planet's crust, the very composition of our air and oceans, bear the chemical imprint of the specific stellar neighborhood in which the solar system formed. We are not just products of any random part of the galaxy, but of a particular region within the Orion Spur, enriched by particular supernovae at a particular time. Our world is a local artifact, a unique expression of the Milky Way's creative potential in one specific place and moment. And as this world turns, it offers a changing view of the galaxy. From the surface of our spinning planet, the Milky Way appears to rise and set, its band arching across the sky with the seasons. In winter, we look outward through the disk, toward the spars, galactic anticenter. In summer, we gaze inward toward the teeming core in Sagittarius. Our annual dance changes our perspective on our home galaxy, a gentle cyclical shift in viewpoint that has been witnessed by every creature that ever looked up in wonder. This cyclical perspective mirrors the gentle rhythms of your own body, the rise and fall of your chest, the steady pulse at your wrist, the slow waves of your brain settling into rest. All are microcosms of the larger cycles you've been contemplating. Your body is a universe of rhythms, from the quick flutter of a cell to the slow turning of thoughts. There is no conflict between these inner tides and the outer galactic cycles. They are different expressions of the same universal tendency toward pattern, motion, and return to rest. As you feel these connections, allow your awareness to expand and contract like the gentle breath of the heliosphere. With each inhalation, draw in the sense of being protected, cocooned in your own warmth and quiet. With each exhalation, release your awareness outward, past imaginary boundaries into the vast supportive darkness that holds everything. You are both the sheltered traveler within the heliosphere and the silent voyager like the distant comets, held in a loose, peaceful orbit around a center of warmth and light. There is no separation between the journey within and the journey without. They are one and the same, a slow, peaceful drift through the benevolent night. Beyond the far, milliar orbits of planets and the distant whispers of the Oort cloud, we encounter the true medium of our journey, the space between the stars. This is not a perfect void, but a soft sea of isolated atoms and molecules. In some regions, there is just one atom per cubic centimeter. In others, perhaps 10. To human perception, this is emptiness perfected. Yet across the light years, this tenuous substance accumulates, becoming a kind of gentle fog that can dim, redden, and scatter the light of distant suns. It is the galaxy's atmosphere, thin beyond imagining, yet omnipresent. Within this sea, sound does not travel. But if it could, the galaxy would be filled with a deep, harmonic resonance, the plasma waves propagating through the interstellar medium, the vibrations of vast magnetic field lines, the almost imperceptible hum of neutrinos streaming through everything. These would blend into a chord far below human hearing, a fundamental note of existence. You cannot hear it, but you can imagine its vibration as a quiet, steady thrum in the background of the cosmos, a bass note to the silent visual symphony. And drifting through this silent sea are not just atoms, but complex molecules. In the cold, dense molecular clouds, chemistry unfolds at a pace measured in millennia. Water, carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, and even sugars like glycolaldehyde have been detected there. These are the building blocks of complexity, forming in the frozen dark without the need for a star's heat. goo, I dead only by the gentle laws of physics and chemistry. The galaxy is not just a place of light and gravity, it is a subtle chemist, preparing the ingredients for life in its coldest, quietest laboratories. Some of these molecules find their way into the swirling disks around newborn stars. Here, in the protoplanetary disk, they become part of a richer story. Ice mantles on dust grains provide a sticky surface for atoms to meet and connect. These grains become the seeds of pebbles, then planetesimals, and ultimately, planets. The water in your glass, the carbon in your cells, may have once been part of a microscopic ice grain circling a protostar, waiting for its chance to become part of a world. Your existence is rooted in these patient, frozen meetings in the dark. The galaxy also communicates through more than just light and molecules. It sends messengers of pure energy, cosmic rays, high-speed atomic nuclei, mostly protons, race through the interstellar medium, guided and accelerated by the galaxy's magnetic fields and supernova shockwaves. They are the galaxy's unseen energetic particles, zipping through space and even passing through our bodies harmlessly. A constant, silent rain from the cosmos. They are a reminder that we are permeable, connected to the galaxy's dynamic energy flows in the most intimate way. Yet, for all this motion and chemistry, the overwhelming experience of the galaxy is one of stillness. The sheer distances enforce a profound tranquility, a sign. Traveling at the speed of light would take over 4 years just to reach our nearest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri. A conversation across that distance would have a pause of nearly a decade between question and answer. This imposes a natural rhythm of immense patience. In the galaxy, nothing happens quickly. Everything unfolds in its own vast time, allowing for consideration, for slow collapse, for gradual awakening. This galactic pace is the antithesis of anxiety. There is no urgency in a molecular cloud, no deadline in the orbit of a star. Processes that would seem impossibly slow to us are the natural tempo of creation and change. Your own mind, when it settles into rest, can touch the edges of this tempo, the slow space between thoughts, the gentle rise of a memory, the gradual descent into sleep. These are your personal, inner expressions of the galactic clock. There is no need to rush. The galaxy itself is your model for a deeply patient existence. As you rest within this model, consider the sheer longevity of it all. The Milky Way has existed for over 13 billion years. It has witnessed the birth and death of generations of stars. It has absorbed smaller galaxies. It has spun its spiral arms into being not once but many times over. Through all of this, its essential nature, a vast gravitationally bound community of stars and gas, has remained. It is a lesson in endurance through adaptation. Change is constant, but the core identity persists. Your own sense of self can feel this same enduring peace beneath the changing waves of daily thought and feeling. You are now floating in the deep, quiet present of the galaxy. Not at its center, not at its edge, but simply within its being. The facts and figures gently recede, leaving only the sensation of immense, soft presence. The light from distant stars is a lullaby that has traveled for centuries to reach you. The empty space is a cushion that supports everything. The slow time is a reassurance that all is unfolding as it should. You are held in this moment, in this quiet, as surely as any star is held in its orbit. There is nothing to do but continue this gentle drift, embraced by the silent, star-dusted dark. In this serene embrace, we can release our focus from structures and motions, and instead, simply appreciate the quality of the galactic night. Imagine the color of this space. It is not simply black. It is a depth of velvet, infused with the faintest echo of light from countless unseen stars. A color astronomers call cosmic latte, a soft, warm beige that is the average hue of the universe. This is the background upon which the brighter stars are placed, a gentle, creamy darkness that comforts rather than obscures. Within this soft gloom, the light does not simply travel in straight lines, it is sculpted by gravity itself. The mass of the galaxy, of its stars and dark matter, acts as a lens, bending the paths of photons from incredibly distant objects. This phenomenon, gravitational lensing, is a gentle distortion, a quiet magnification of the faraway. It means that some of the faint lights we see are not single stars, but multiplied images of a distant quasar or galaxy, their light stretched and duplicated in a silent, cosmic mirage. Reality here is soft, malleable, and forgiving. And what of the stars we do see as singular points? Each is a sun, and many likely host families of planets. The galaxy may be home to over 100 billion worlds. Some are gas giants, shrouded in eternal swirling storms of pastel gases. Others are rocky like our own, possibly cradling deep silent oceans under icy crusts. Many will be barren, etched by ancient geology into quiet, majestic sculptures. The sheer number is not overwhelming when we consider them, not as a count, but as a collective existence. A galaxy of potential havens, most of which will never know a visitor, content in their solitary orbits. On some of these silent worlds, the night sky would present an entirely different tableau. A planet orbiting a star in a globular cluster would see a sky forever dense with neighboring suns. A world locked in the heart of a galactic nebula might see its heavens filled with softly glowing veils of red and green hydrogen. From a planet near the galaxy's outer rim, the Milky Way would appear as a magnificent tilted arch of concentrated light, a brilliant bridge across the heavens. Each world offers a unique portrait of the same galactic home. Our own portrait from Earth is uniquely our own. The particular arrangement of constellations, Orion, Cygnus, Scorpius, is a local pattern, a gift of our specific location in the spiral. In another part of the galaxy, these familiar shapes would be unrecognizable, replaced by entirely new patterns. The stories we tell about the stars are intimate, local folklore. They are our way of making a home within the vastness, of drawing friendly shapes on the immense canvas. It is a gentle, human impulse to find connection in the patterns of light. As you lie in stillness, you can let go of even these patterns. You don't need to trace Orion's belt or find the North Star. You can simply receive the light. The photons that grace your eyes tonight began their journey decades, centuries, even millennia ago. They have traveled through the vast interstellar medium, past the gravitational fields of unseen stars, through the heliosphere, and into our atmosphere to finally, gently arrive at your retina. You are the destination for this ancient light. It has completed its long journey just for you to witness its gentle spark. This reception is a passive, peaceful act. It requires no effort. In the same way, you can allow sounds, sensations, and thoughts to simply arrive, be witnessed, and then continue on their way. You are a gentle receiver, like a quiet radio telescope, tuned to the frequency of rest. The galaxy is broadcasting a signal of profound peace on a wavelength of light and time. Why? Oh, you are perfectly designed to receive it now, in this state of deep relaxation. In this role as a receiver, you are also a part of the galaxy's own self-awareness. Through your consciousness, the universe can contemplate its own beauty. The swirling gas, the burning stars, the dark matter, all of it exists in a state of such quiet grandeur. In your peaceful awareness, that grandeur finds a mirror. You are not separate from the cosmic scene you are contemplating. You are a node within it, a point where the universe becomes aware of its own serene, majestic nature. So let this awareness be soft and diffuse, like the light of cosmic latte. Let it fill you without direction, without need for analysis. You are resting within the galaxy, and the galaxy is resting within you. The boundaries are gentle, permeable, and ultimately unimportant. There is only the quiet, the slow spin, the ancient light, and the deep, comforting knowing that you, exactly as you are, belong utterly to this peaceful, star-filled night. As this sense of unity deepens, consider the galaxy's relationship with time. In the cosmic quiet, time loses its sharp edges. We measure it in orbits and light years, but for the galaxy itself, time is more like a gentle, persistent current. There is no wasting of time here, only its graceful expenditure. 1,000,000 years is a short chapter, 1,000,000,000 years a volume. The galaxy holds all these volumes in its vast library, each story written in the composition of a star, orbit of a cluster, the dispersion of a nebula. Your own life story, in all its beautiful complexity, is a cherished, fleeting paragraph in an endless, gentle narrative. Within this narrative, even endings are transformations. A star that exhausts its fuel does not vanish. A sun like ours will one day swell into a gentle red giant, then release its outer layers into space, forming a radiant planetary nebula, a final, breathtaking exhalation of colorful gas. The remaining core will cool for eons as a white dwarf, a dense ember of carbon and oxygen, slowly fading into a black dwarf over timescales longer than the current age of the universe. Its material is not lost, it is returned, to be woven into the fabric of future generations. Every conclusion is a quiet offering. This cyclical return is mirrored in your own body. With every breath, you release atoms that were once part of oceans, mountains, and atmospheres. With every beat of your heart, you circulate elements forged in stellar furnaces. Your physical form is a temporary gathering, a quiet meeting of ancient materials that will one day disperse, only to gather again in new forms. This is not loss, but the deepest form of continuity. You are a gentle eddy in a slow cosmic river, unique in your pattern but inseparable from the flow. Now, let your awareness expand to the galaxy's own place in the cosmos. The Milky Way is one of perhaps 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. From an intergalactic vantage, it would appear as a soft, fuzzy whirlpool of light, a single bloom in an infinite meadow. It is both insignificant in its multitude and magnificent in its individual complexity. This perspective is the ultimate balm for the soul. It holds the profound truth that you are, simultaneously, a small part of an unimaginable whole and a complete, worthy universe unto yourself. From this vast view, the concept of solitude transforms. A star drifting in the galactic halo is not lonely. It is simply traveling in a state of serene independence, connected by gravity to a whole it may never visually see again. Your own moments of solitude can be felt in this way, not as isolation, but as a peaceful, sovereign journey within a wider, connecting web. You are never truly alone. You are in a state of quiet communion with forces seen and unseen. The very laws that govern this grand design are themselves a source of deep comfort. The constants of nature, the strength of gravity, the speed of light, the charge of an electron, are so precisely tuned that they allow for galaxies, stars, planets, and life to exist. This is not a fragile balance, but a robust, reliable foundation. You can trust in this foundation as you trust in the ground beneath you. The universe is built on principles of astonishing reliability, allowing for both infinite variety and enduring stability.
As you rest upon this reliable foundation, feel the gentle pull of gravity not as a force, but as an invitation to surrender.
It is the force that shapes galaxies and holds you to the earth. It is the universe's way of drawing things together, of creating closeness and relationship. Allow your body to fully surrender to gravity now, melting into your bed, supported completely. There is no need to hold yourself up. The galaxy itself is held in this same gentle embrace. In this state of surrendered awareness, thought itself can begin to slow and settle, like dust in a quiet room. You don't need to follow any more facts or ideas. You can simply be a point of consciousness, a quiet witness floating in the Milky Way's gentle glow. The voice you hear is just a soft guide, leading you deeper into your own inner silence, which is as deep and as peaceful as the space between the stars. We are approaching a silence beyond words, a rest beyond thought. The galaxy continues its slow spin. Your breath continues its gentle rhythm. They are the same thing, expressed in different scales. There is nothing to solve, nothing to reach for. You have arrived at the peaceful center of the journey, where listening and dreaming become one. The remaining facts are just soft, distant stars on the periphery of your awareness. Their light a lullaby for the soul. Now, let the final images dissolve. Release the spiral arms, the glowing core, the drifting stars. Let them soften into a gentle, nebulous glow, like the fading memory of a beautiful dream. There is no longer a map to follow, no structure to comprehend, only the enduring feeling of being cradled within something vast and benevolent remains. The facts have served their purpose. They were like gentle stones placed in a stream, creating a path for your mind to cross over into stillness. The path is behind you now. The stream flows on, softly murmuring, and you are simply here, resting on its peaceful bank. The Milky Way is no longer an external object of study, but an internal state of being, a deep quiet knowing in your cells that you are home. All the gentle motions, the orbit, the bob, the drift, are settling now into a perfect, motionless peace. Imagine the galaxy itself pausing in its slow spin, not out of cessation, but out of profound rest, like a great being taking a single deep, tranquil breath that lasts for eons. Within that breath, everything is allowed to be still. Stars rest in their places. Dust settles. Light simply is, without traveling. In this expansive now, time has gently come to a stop, not with a jolt, but like a leaf landing on the surface of a still pond. Your own breathing is that leaf. With every exhale, you release the last subtle traces of thought, of identity, of location. With every inhale, you draw in the pure, quiet essence of cosmic peace. In and out. Each cycle is slower, softer, deeper than the last. You are breathing with the galaxy. You are the galaxy, breathing,